Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or not foundation review on the brand new Tarte Foundcealer Multitasking Foundation with 20 SPF. So Tarte just released another foundation once again, and I went ahead and picked up this little guy. This came with a purchase of $25 or more promotion that Sephora was having on their app, so I was like, why not? So I want to quickly touch on the ingredients and a little bit more about this product. The full-size foundation retails for $39, and there is a really good color range, which I'm definitely impressed with. So it's supposed to be a vegan makeup and skincare that is for everyday foundation use, achieving an ultra comfortable wear. It's also a radiant finish, and it's more of a natural finish. It's a medium coverage. It does have some highlighted ingredients, which I do want to touch on. It has Babasu, which nourishes, moisturizes, and soothes the skin. It has sunflower seed, which a lot of products I've been trying lately have that sunflower seed, and that is supposed to be rich in vitamin A and E to help hydrate, regenerate, and condition the skin. So a lot of these ingredients are helping the skin look very hydrated and fresh and just perfect for everyday wear foundation. And it does have hyaluronic acid, which retains moisture for optimal hydration and a refreshed appearance. So I'm gonna go ahead and just jump right into this baby because I definitely want to know more about it. This is the little packaging it came in. In this sample, I'm only getting 0.17 ounces. It's enough to cover this big face of mine. But I'm hopeful that it'll be good. So let's just go ahead and start with our moisturizer. So today for moisturizer, I'm actually going to be using my Your Good Skin Anti-Shine Base, and I'm going to be using this as my moisturizer, and then I'm going to go ahead and use one of my primers as a primer. And then today, what primer do I want to use now? I think I want to use my what should I use? Okay, so we're gonna spice things up a little bit, and we're gonna use the Sisley primer. This is that very expensive primer that I tested out a few months ago. It was just sitting there. I don't really use it often. I only use it like when I wanna feel super luxurious, and kinda wanna feel super luxurious today, so I'm gonna be putting this all over. So on this side, we're gonna be using my sponge, and then this side, the brush. This is what the little mini version looks like. So cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and pump this out. Right now I am using the shade Medium Tan Honey, and then the shade that I usually use, so Medium Tan Honey is the shade I'm using right now, and then I also have Medium Tan Neutral. So that's usually the range that I like to see. So I'm gonna be putting this all over my face. It does feel very creamy, like a little bit thicker than I thought it would feel. I thought it was gonna feel a little tiny bit more runny, but it does feel creamy. So let's just put this hair over here. Begin blending. Yeah, it's not as full coverage as the face tape, but it definitely looks like a very like everyday wear foundation, almost like a tinted moisturizer in a way. Put a little bit more. It does blend out very easily, which is a good thing. You always want a foundation that is not going to give you a lot of problems when it comes to blending, because I hate when a foundation takes forever to blend into the skin. Yeah, I definitely feel like I also, if you have like troubled skin or you have blemishes you want to cover, you're going to have to build and build with this one. When I look at it, it doesn't even look like I have makeup on. That's one side. And now we're gonna do the other side with a brush. I'm gonna pump out a little bit more because I felt like I needed to go back in and pump. But it looks really nice with the sponge. I feel like the sponge really pushed it into the skin and kind of made it all really mesh well together. Now I'm gonna be taking my Tarte Bamboo brush, and I'm gonna be going in on the side with brush and just kind of pressing it in. Now Tarte did also release a sponge, a purple sponge. I didn't pick the sponge up, but I mean, I feel like it's easy to find a sponge. You don't need to spend $16 on something. We can go get a Morphe sponge. This side, I feel like kind of cover more ground faster. Like you can't really see a lot of my redness as much as you feel like you still can on this side. So maybe if you want a little bit more of a fuller coverage, I would go in with a brush, but it still definitely looks a lot like skin. It honestly reminds me a lot of a tinted moisturizer. I think the name is interesting that it's called Found Concealer. I wouldn't use this as concealer because it's not enough coverage to like almost conceal that without me having to go in with concealer. Now, I was scared that I was gonna give my skin like a super like wet effect because of all the hydration and radiance it claims to have, but it actually is giving my skin a very healthy glow. But yeah, I feel like on this side I got more coverage with the brush. So I would say if you are somebody that wants a fuller coverage, then I would go in with a brush. If you have somebody that wants to try this foundation but you do have blemishes, scars, rosacea, things of that nature that you're trying to cover, a brush would probably be better for you to really cover those grounds. And I feel like it's setting nicely into my skin. It's giving me like this really pretty glow from within, but still like a healthy, it's my skin. It's accentuating my texture a little bit right here. And I feel like you can see a lot of my enlarged pores in this area. The color, which we picked up, what is this? This is medium tan honey. I think it looks really nice right now. Like I mentioned, it was the end of winter a few days ago, so this is where I'm gonna be like my palest. Like this isn't the foundation I would wear for when I want something like super full coverage, super snatched. But the good thing is that Tarte tells you that in their description. They're not claiming to be something they're not. So I always respect when brands do that. They give you valid, true claims on their foundation. Some brands sometimes don't do that, and you're like, So I'll see you guys in a little bit once I'm fully snatched to let you guys know my very first impressions and how this is holding up and how it does with the rest of my products. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so I am back. I finished my entire face of makeup. Per usual, I will have all the products I used on my face down below in the description box. I'm ready to talk about the new Foundcealer foundation by Tarte. So I have to say, it made everything blend out so beautifully. Like my bronzer and my blush just blended out like a dream, and there's no like harshness. They just kind of like worked and meshed together perfectly. I feel like the foundation definitely set a little bit more as I was doing my makeup. So I have to say, by the end of me putting on the application, both sides look fairly similar. So I feel like once they really do set, with the brush or the sponge, you're good. But I definitely feel like this side over here has a little bit more coverage than the side where I used a sponge. This side looks a tad bit more on the natural side. I feel like when I do like a little bit of a heavier like eye look, or I do something intense on the eyes, it's always nice to wear a foundation that's a little bit more skin-like and a little bit more everyday wear foundation type of thing, because I feel like it's not like you're wearing like so much, you know? So now I want to kind of compare it to the other Tarte foundation that came out this year, which is the face tape. So I am a very big fan of the face tape. This is, I don't know, for me personally, I feel like the face tape is a little bit more hydrating, but I do have to say that this face tape is definitely a full coverage foundation, which this one is not. So I feel like in those terms, if you've been looking into which Tarte foundation to purchase and you're more of a natural foundation person, then I would probably go in with the Foundcealer. I feel like with this one, you can build it up to your liking, or you can keep it more on that like really natural, subtle like coverage. With this one, I feel like you go in and you start to see that full coverage right away, which is probably why I love it so much, but I also love how this sits on my skin. I feel like they're both good for each individual who wants a certain type of finish, a certain type of application feel. So I don't think one is better than the other, because I feel like when it's all said and done, everything lays on top of it super nicely equally. So those are just my first thoughts. But I'm excited to see how this one's gonna wear. To be honest, I really wish that Tarte would have waited a while to release this new Foundcealer foundation, because I feel like they just went a little too fast with it. Like they just launched this, and then next thing you know, they have a new foundation. But I have been using this face tape a lot. But I definitely can see this Foundcealer being more so of a product that I would wear for like everyday use when I want something super light. But I do want to say that with this one, the 20 SPF, I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, oh, it's nothing, it's not gonna do anything for your skin, which I see where that you're coming from with that. But I find that from doing research recently with sunscreens, that when you have a lot of sunscreen in there, it's a lot of chemicals in there. And you guys know Tarte is all about that natural stuff. They're all about being really good for the skin. I can't see them putting a lot of ingredients that have a lot of chemicals, which is I think why they keep their sunscreen so little. But I do have to say that at least they put in some sunscreen in there. That's great. I would always go in with whatever product of sunscreen you use first and then go in with this. Don't just rely on this foundation if that's what you're worried about. But if you don't wear sunscreen and you feel like it can cover you, then that's good too. But I tend to notice that for me at least, if I wear something with way too much SPF, it just irritates my skin, which is why I like to stick between 25 to 30, and why I've been really obsessed with my Seriously Fab Zinc It Over spray, because this literally spray it on after I'm done. It's a makeup setter, but it also has that sunscreen 25, and that's good. And I constantly reapply it through the day just to make sure that I'm getting the sunscreen I need. But I just wanted to quickly touch on the sunscreen because I know you guys are probably going to be like, so what about the sunscreen? What do you think about that? Or that's not enough sunscreen. It's probably because they don't want to put a lot of ingredients with chemicals. The more you put with sunscreen, the more chemicals you get. So let's go ahead and take this picture real quick. Okay, so there's no flashback with the foundation, which is definitely a positive, and I think it's because it doesn't really have that much, so that's just something to note in case this is one of those foundations that you're thinking about purchasing, but you're like, sunscreen, flashback, what do I do? And no, this doesn't smell like SPF 2, because some foundations, when you add that SPF, there's like a huge SPF scent. So that's pretty much it for right now. I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with the rest of my day, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my first check-ins, and then at the very end of the day, stay tuned for my very final thoughts to see if this new Foundcealer foundation is worth the buy or not. It has been quite a few hours since I last saw you guys, but I wanted to show you guys what the makeup looked up close in natural lighting for our check-in. As you guys can see, it actually is looking pretty good. We do have a little tiny bit of some like radiance peeking through. I wouldn't call it like do because I feel like we still look pretty put together. And like I mentioned, I didn't go ahead and like bake the face or anything. I just dusted very little powder on the areas where I tend to get oily, like my smile lines, and I still feel like for the fact that it's already 6:30 p.m. it's holding up pretty well. I'm probably going to be wearing this for maybe 3 or 4 more hours and then giving you guys my final thoughts, but I really do like it, and it doesn't feel heavy. Let me see if it feels sticky. It's not feeling sticky either. I'm not a fan of when foundations feel too sticky. I feel like it just makes my skin feel gross, especially after a long day. But this does feel really nice. So we're gonna continue going with it and see what final thoughts I come up with later today. So if you wanna continue watching and see my thoughts on this Foundcealer foundation, then stay tuned. So I am back and I'm here to share with you guys my final thoughts of the day. Right now it is 9:08 p.m. and I've worn this foundation for pretty much the entire day. So I feel like I have some really good developed thoughts. I wore this outside. It was literally like nice out, but it was so windy. I was like, my lashes are about to fly away. But nonetheless, I literally went through everything with this. So I'm ready to talk about it. So as you guys can see, the foundation does look dewy. The last time I saw you guys, it didn't look that bad, but now it definitely has more oil peeking through. And what you can do is you can definitely take a sponge and just kind of blot it in the areas where you need to and get rid of those oils in case you need to touch it up for like the evening, if you're gonna be wearing this like out in the evening. And you can see it quickly absorbs the oils pretty fast, and it's not removing the foundation, which is definitely a good thing. I do have to say that I did take another picture with flash and it looked really great. Such a plus. I definitely feel like this foundation will be a favorite for people that have normal to combination skin. Usually by the end of the day, certain foundations start to like feel really yucky and like, oh my god, I need to take this off. But this doesn't feel like that. This just feels really nice on the skin right now. And I got a lot of compliments. People were like, oh my god, your face looks so good. And I'm like, maybe the foundation. I could see myself going out and buying this full size. The only thing that's holding me back, I don't really want to spend the money right now when I know that I just have this one that I just bought, which is the reason why I used a little sample that Sephora sent over with my purchase that I made, because I was like, I don't know if I want to spend another $39 on another foundation when I just purchased one of their foundations. So I really wish that they would have spread it out. It's just like a lot of money to spend on foundations from the same brand that just launched. So maybe when I'm done this one, I'll go ahead and purchase the full size of the Foundcealer, but as of right now, I just feel like there's no need to. That's what I'm saying. If you're searching for a new foundation and this is kind of what is catching your eye, or you like the claims, or you like the things that I mentioned about how it's more of a natural wear, it's more buildable, it's more for every day, it has a little bit of SPF, then you probably will enjoy this. But I feel like if you're somebody that has a lot of foundations or just purchased this foundation, no, you don't need to go get it. This is bomb, and I feel like that will just be another added purchase that doesn't make sense right now. But it's really up to you guys. But you guys saw how it wore my face. You guys, my eyes are so red. I need to take this lash off because it's like killing me. I just need to take it off. I probably look so crazy. So those are pretty much all my thoughts for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. It just sounded like I said thoughts, like Thotiana. No, I said thoughts. Whatever. I'm getting off track. It's late. I gotta go. Okay, I need to go eat some froyo. But yeah, so I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed doing so, and that will help me continue doing these videos, because the more thumbs up we give this, the more videos I want to film doing foundation reviews. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you're new, hi, welcome. I hope that you enjoyed this video enough to want to stick around, so don't forget to subscribe down below. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already, so that you never miss a video, because you just don't want to miss any of this fun. It's too much fun to want to pass by. So I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Make sure that you do all those things so that you stay on track with what I do here on this channel. And we can continue to grow our family, because we're getting so close to 30K, and that would just mean the world to me. So I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye, guys.